Hey, this is not just another Trello tutorial or how to be more productive kumbaya moment. It's about something way more important, your sanity. Because if you feel scattered and overwhelmed when managing your work, you have a higher chance of failure than you do success. And most people, maybe even you, think that Trello is too simple to be effective. But give me 10 minutes, just actually less than 10 minutes, and I will prove you wrong. I'm going to show you real boards, real examples, and we're also going to include the same Trello board my wife and I used to plan our trip to London a few years ago. And I'll show you a feature that most people miss that instantly upgrades Trello from a simple task list to an actual project hub. Hey, welcome back. Today, we're going to dive into Trello. And this is a tool with almost no learning curve, but surprising depth if you know where to look. If you've ever opened a project management tool and instantly felt overwhelmed at the Gantt charts and the dashboards and the formulas, Trello is the exact opposite of that. This is why I tell people who are new to project management to start with this system. They and you can jump in and begin managing your work straight away and immediately feel accomplished. Do you remember way back in episode 14 where I introduced you to Kanban? If you haven't seen it, there's a link in the description. Check it out after this. And just as a quick recap, Kanban was implemented at Toyota in 1953 to help improve efficiency in manufacturing. It's a visual system that used cards, colored cards, to manage the workflows. Trello is the same thing. It's just a more modern implementation of that system. So let me show you why Trello works so well, especially if you are new to learning project management. So let's start with Trello's superpower, or one of them. It's simplicity with its structure. Unlike most tools that force you into a process right from the beginning, Trello gives you a basic visual framework, which uses boards, lists, and cards. That's it. And it lets you scale up only when you want to. So boards, these are the big buckets of work. Lists, these are the various stages, themes, or categories of work. And then your cards are the actual individual tasks. That's all. You can learn this basic principle, these basic concepts in like 2 minutes. Matter of fact, let me just show you. Let's go ahead and create a board and I'll show you how quick and easy it is. Let's just click on this button here to create new board. When we do this, we have to give it a title. So let's just call it test. And you've got visibility options. You can share it with the public, you can leave it within your workspace, or you can make it private. The workspace setting means that if you had a team that you're sharing this with, then everyone within that team would have access. Of course, private means it's truly private from anyone. And then public means, of course, it's going to be available out on the internet for everyone to see. So we're just going to leave it on workspace. You can also change the background of your board. Right now it's set to this default mountain range. I'm just going to choose blue. And before I hit create, I'm going to show you start with a template really quick. This is just an option that if you don't want to start with a blank board, you can start with some different options here. Such as start with an agile board or a Kanban template or a general project management board. And then as you can see here, you can actually click this button down below here to explore more templates that are publicly available. But we're just going to start from scratch because I want to show you how easy this is. So we're going to hit create. So here we go. This is your new board. The board is this whole screen here. And this is where all of your work happens. And you'll see here that we are given a blank card or column here to start things off. So I'm going to call this to do. You can also refer to it as the backlog if you'd like as well. And that's it. You type in the title of it, you hit enter, and it's going to create that list for you. And it's going to move you on to the next list. So for the next one, we're going to call it doing. Or you can call it in progress, or whatever is going to suit your project. And then the last one we're going to call it is done, or of course complete, or whatever else. So let's add a card. So we're just going to do task 1, task 2, task 3. And it really is that simple. Let's say here that we've got this task and we're gonna go ahead and work on it. And so normally if you're doing this with a team, when you assign this to a person, that person is going to take that task and move it when they're ready to do that work. That's just a basic principle of Kanban in general. But as we're working on this, we want to go ahead and get it done. We're going to mark it as complete over here. And now we're finished. And that's it. You see how simple that is to get up and running in just a few minutes? And this is why it matters. It's because there's a low barrier to entry with this. Anyone can learn this system in minutes. Students, parents, small teams, it doesn't matter. There's zero intimidation factor. New project managers can focus on actually managing projects instead of learning the software. And it's flexible enough for pros. You are never locked into one single method. Whether you use Kanban, or you just do it for personal tasks, or you do it for content pipelines or workflows, Trello handles them all. And this is why I use this system when I planned our vacation with my wife to London a few years ago. We built a board and started populating it in under 10 minutes. But Trello is not just a beginner's tool. Matter of fact, it can handle professional work just as easily. And that's an amazing thing about this platform, is that it can scale with your work and with your team and what you're doing. And so this is a big surprise, again, to people who think that Trello is too simple. Because most tools are either too simple for work or too complicated for home life, but Trello isn't. Trello really hits that sweet spot. Here's the thing that most people miss though, that you can structure Trello in the same way for both personal and professional projects. And that is why the system scales so well. This gives you a consistent mental model then, no matter what board you're in, which means less confusion, less context switching, and you feel a lot less overwhelmed. Hopefully you can start to see the potential here. Where most tools weigh you down with their complexity, Trello gives you a simple structure that can grow with you instead of you growing out of it. I already kind of hit on power-ups, and this is one key feature that I'm pretty confident most people don't use. So it's a way to turn your simple board into a project management system. So if you want timelines, Power Up, add that in. If you want dashboards, add that in. If you want automations, you can add that in. If you want to integrate with other external systems such as Google Drive or Slack, or Trello's big brother Jira, you can do that. If you want custom fields, custom status labels, due date workflows, it's all there in those power-ups. And this is really the moment where Trello stops being just a board and becomes a tool that fits your personal project style and your team's professional needs. Because as we already know, every project is different and every team is different. And when you start with a tool like Trello, you can grow that system and mold it and shape it into what that team and that project needs. But if you want Trello to really save you time, automation is your new best friend. This is another underrated superpower that Trello has. You can trigger actions when a card moves, or when a label changes, or when a due date hits. And this is really great for simple things like reminders, handing off a task from one person to another, status updates, repeating tasks, workflow approvals. And for new project managers, this is a game changer. Automations keep your project moving even when you forget. And this is really where Trello starts giving you your sanity back. When the routine work runs itself, your brain is not bouncing between 14 different tabs and sticky notes and half-finished thoughts. You get calm and clarity in a system that you can trust. So when do we use Trello? Well, first off, it's important to understand that Trello is not trying to compete with Microsoft Project or Jira. It's here for people who want clarity and not complexity. You want to use it when you need something visual, or if you're new and just learning project management, or you're teaching someone how to manage projects, or you're collaborating with non-technical people. Maybe you're also trying to keep life and work organized. Of course, for those of you who don't want complexity, or you want a tool that just will simply grow with you. That's why Trello is one of the easiest ways to get your sanity back. It gives you one place to track your work instead of a scattered mess of emails, apps, sticky notes, and mental clutter. It turns all of that chaos into clarity without forcing you to learn a complicated system. When I teach people the basics of project management in my class, they often ask what system that I recommend that they start using. And Trello, honestly, is the first one I recommend because it's free, it's easy to get into, and it's extensible. It grows with them. So if you want a tool that helps you actually manage your work rather than spending time wrestling with software, start here. I can't say it enough. And if you want to learn more about Kanban, well, click on the card up in the corner or on the link down below to take you back to episode 14, where I teach you about the origin of Kanban and why this is such a powerful way to manage your projects. And if you're ready to take your work to the next level, subscribe for more project management tools and tutorials. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.